Our next speaker, she's an activist. She was running for Senate in Warwick last cycle, and she will be back. And it's a pleasure to introduce you Jennifer Wood, member of the Women's Project.
Hi, so this is my little assistant, like I guess. But I'm here to share my story as to why doulas are so important. So I am the mother of 4 beautiful children. My oldest is 21. This is my youngest, he's 3. However, last year I was a surrogate for a wonderful couple. My smallest baby was 8 pounds. My little peanut back there, she was 8. And my biggest was the one sitting next to her, who was 10 pounds, 2 ounces. And I've never had any complications. Nothing. Not high blood pressure, I never retained fluid, nothing. So last year I gave birth to a little boy who weighed 8 pounds, 4 ounces. And about 2 weeks before I gave birth, my blood pressure started to rise. Not a lot, but enough to make me nervous. And my doctor said, "You're fine. We were probably just worried about your C-section," because I had to have a C-section. So I had 2 vaginal births and 2 C-sections because my youngest 2 were so big. And I went to the doctor, and she said, "Your blood pressure is 135 over something." When she said 135, I stopped listening. I know my baseline is 120 over 70. For a very long time, it's been 120 over 70, for as long as I can remember. A week later, I went back in for a follow-up, and my blood pressure was still elevated. "You're fine. You're just nervous." "I'm not nervous. I know I can do this. I've done it before." The day of my surgery, I'm laying in the hospital bed, hooked up to the machines, getting ready to go in, and blood pressure again, 140. "Well, we'll take it again in a few minutes. You're probably just nervous. You're going in for a serious surgery. It's going to be okay." Okay. It came back 145 over, I don't know. Once the first number is anything over 120, I stop listening. So I go in for surgery. I get an epidural. They start doing what they need to do. Baby's born, he's healthy. They roll me back to recovery. And while in recovery, I was laying there, and I had a white blanket over me, because they give you the warming blanket, because you're cold when you come out of surgery. And I'm laying there, and I feel liquid. I turned to the nurse, she left. She said, "I'll be right back." And I said, "Okay." She came back about 30 minutes later. And I turned to her and I said, "I think I peed on myself." And she said, "Oh, okay, no problem." I said, "All right." She whipped back that white blanket. It wasn't pee. I hemorrhaged. I lost 2.5 liters of blood. And I didn't even know it, because I couldn't feel it. I had signed up to be a part of a study. And there's a medication that they have that will prevent hemorrhaging. So I received the medication while I gave birth. I actually needed the medication. They gave me the placebo. And I remember hearing the doctor scream for the nurse to come in to find out what they gave me. She had no idea. So she had to run back to the surgery room, and they had to figure it out. I had a placebo. I needed the medication. You could only get 1 dose. So I got that dose of medication. Stayed in the hospital for 4 days. You give birth, C-section, 4 days, you gotta go. Blood pressure never went down. Actually got higher. So I was discharged on Friday. I walked out the hospital with sunglasses. My hat pulled all the way down to my eyes because I had a massive headache. When the nurse walked in the room to give me my discharge papers, every single light in that room was off. Curtains were pulled. I was underneath the blanket. I was hurting. My head hurt so badly. Walked out that hospital and I was like, I don't feel good. Don't feel right. Got in the car, I went home. I was discharged on Friday. I woke up on Saturday and I felt like I had an elephant on my chest. Only on one side. I felt like I was drowning. And I said, no, they told me I'm going to go back to the doctors on Monday. It's fine, it's fine. Realized I couldn't turn my head. So my husband took me for a ride just to get me off the house, and I couldn't turn to see him. Me being the person that I am, I went on Google, found out I was dying because WebMD, you put something in, you're gonna die. Oh my God, I'm dying. I went and I took gas ups because they said, you take it, it'll help you. And it did, so I could turn my head. However, I still couldn't breathe. Sunday morning, it was worse. And I brushed it off and went to the doctor on Monday, it's fine. I woke up Monday morning and it was so bad. I called the doctor, I got in earlier, I walked in, took my blood pressure, 165. And that's all I remember because it was a blur to me. And she said, we're sending you back to the ER right now. So my doctor isn't the person that discharged me, someone else did. She said, you're going back right now, they'll be waiting for you. So I walked back into the hospital, my husband dropped me off at the front, and they wheeled me in. And I'm laying on the bed, I turned to the doctor, and I said to her, and I started crying, I'm a mother of 4 children. This wasn't even my baby. I was trying to help someone else. I don't want to die. And I'm sobbing. And I said, as a Black woman, I know I'm 4 times more likely to die giving birth. I gave birth. I don't want to die. And she started crying and she said, I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure you're okay. So me being the tough person that I am, wiped my face. My husband walked in with this little guy, and they rolled me upstairs. And the first thing was they started a catheter. Because they said something's not right. In 2 days' time, I had 15 liters of fluid come out of my body. And if you can imagine what that is, imagine you're having a party. You're going to Stop and Shop, and you grab these big 2 liters. I had 15 liters on my chest. I was literally drowning in my own fluids. Blood pressure never went down. I went for an MRI. I had a CAT scan. I had an EKG. I was discharged 4 days later. Blood pressure still elevated. They put me on blood pressure medication, follow-up, nothing. And eventually, by me being my own advocate and fighting for it, they told me I had postpartum preeclampsia. But they never thought to keep me in the hospital when my blood pressure was elevated. They never thought to keep me in the hospital when they walked in and the room was black. They just said, go home. And when I told them about the headache, they said, oh, you're just weaning off pain medication. But they never looked. I didn't take any pain medication. I hate medication. I didn't have any Percocet. I had no oxy. I was taking Tylenol. But you're just weaning off the pain medication. I feel doulas play such a pivotal role in preventing Black maternal deaths. Bills like this are necessary. I knew what my options were. I did. I just didn't think I needed it. I'm a pro, you know, baby number 5, I got this, like, I got this in and out. Never happened to me. But having someone there to advocate for me would have been fantastic. I have private insurance. I actually had the ability to pay for a doula, I just didn't think I needed it. And I just think back to when I was 16, and I gave birth to my oldest son. And I'm like, what if that was a young girl with me in the hospital and she didn't know what was going on, and she didn't have someone by her side? So this bill is so important for so many people, mainly for Black women. Because Black women are 4 times more likely to die giving birth. Because we're not listened to. We're never listened to. So we're asking to be listened to, and this is a start. So trust Black women, trust women, period, and help us push for this bill. Thank you.